Good evening. It is about 9:30. I had the procedure done about 5 hours ago. You can see my eye is a little scary looking. Well, it's not as bloodshot as it was right after, but you can see I have that big bruise right there. Still a bit of a lump. But I will go through everything. And I will explain just everything that happened. So, like I said, I had it done about 5 hours ago. From the procedure altogether, it took about half an hour from 4:15 to 4:45. First they took me into just a normal exam room and they checked the pressure of my eyes, and they had me, cover one of my eyes and read a line of letters. And then they just prepped the procedure room, and then they took me in there and they played music and just made me really comfortable. They had me lay down on a bed. Oh, and once again, like I said, I got this done at the Moran Eye Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the University of Utah Hospital, which is a big blessing because they know what they're doing there. All they do is eye stuff. So anyways, they had me lay down on a table and they just had this little spot for my head to lay on. They put a pillow under my knees so that my back wouldn't hurt. And then they covered me with a blanket and they put another cloth all the way up to my neck, so I was really comfortable. And then they turned the music on. And then right before they did the anesthesia shots, which I think she said they used lidocaine, not Novocaine. So they used lidocaine on me. So she had me put an ice pack directly on my eye without a towel or anything around it, so it was extremely cold, right on my eye to numb it as much as possible before they gave me the anesthesia shot. So I had that pack on for about 15 seconds, then I took it off and they hurried and gave me an injection up here. It didn't hurt too much because I had just had the ice pack on. So it was just this stinging, a pinch, imagine you know how it feels when the smallest part of your skin gets pinched. That's what it felt like, and it was just this pinch and it twisted. It wasn't that painful though. But then when she went to do the lower one, the ice had already been off for a little bit, so it wasn't as numb, and that one really hurt more. It felt more pinchy. And my eyes were very watery from the pain. Just tears coming out. And then they just chilled for a minute, and just letting the anesthesia kick in. And then she started poking my lower lid, asking if I could feel it, and I could. So she had to do another shot, and this shot hurt the most because it wasn't very numb, and I hadn't had ice directly on it or anything. So that one definitely hurt the most. And then she checked a little later to see if I could feel anything, and I still could, so she gave me one more shot, and that one didn't hurt as much because I was already fairly numb. And I can't remember if they did this that I'm about to tell you right after the first shot or if it was after all the shots, but they put, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's that brown stuff when you give blood or something to, I think it's sterilize the area. They put that all over here. I didn't see it, but they put it everywhere, and I think a little got in my eye because it kind of stung. Or maybe the anesthesia was what was stinging. I don't know. But they kept putting some numbing drops in my eye to make the stinging go away. So, yeah. So then once this was completely numb, she just I don't even honestly know what she used or what exactly she did, but she flipped the eyelid so it was facing out down here, and then just the act of that, they said just the chalazia just started oozing out. So, and then I think she just I guess she gave it a cut She didn't even really say. I loved her. She was great. But I'm not exactly sure all that went on, even though I had the MA tell me everything that was going to happen beforehand. So she flipped it out and she just said, oh, it was oozing out, everything was coming out, it was looking good. And I think she was just kind of helping it come out. But it was a little uncomfortable because she was just pulling on my eyelid, and that's just pretty uncomfortable. So once like everything came out, then afterwards she gave me a Kenalog shot, which is a steroid cream, to, I think, help reduce any swelling, even though in the meantime it kind of makes it more swollen. So anyways, that was that for the lower lid, and it's fairly swollen. I still have a bit of a bump, but you can't really see it, and it should go away because everything just came out. Then for my upper eyelid, they were using that metal clamp, and as soon as she clamped it on and tried to flip my eyelid, it just hurt way too badly. It was tugging the corner of my eyelid so much. It was really painful. So she actually took it immediately off because it was so painful. But she said that that pressure, I think, like clamping it open, actually it already started to what's the word? Like drain. And then I think she just kind of held it open maybe with her finger or something, and it was just all draining out. Yeah, and I guess she did the cut too. Yeah, because it was bleeding and everything was just coming out. I couldn't see anything. I was looking down so I could kind of see out of this eye, but I couldn't tell anything that was going on the whole time, really. So I didn't have the clamp on my upper eyelid because it was too painful. But everything was coming out really good, and she actually cauterized it up here, so that just means they got this tool that gets super, super hot and just kind of burns it to stop the bleeding, because it was, I think, bleeding a lot. So she cauterized it, and when she did that, I felt like the tiniest little bit of a twinge. Not necessarily painful, but I could tell. And then she just did the shot of the Kenalog cream, the steroid shot again, and I couldn't even really tell with that either. But it was painful. It was definitely painful. So that was that, and then they wiped all of that stuff off. And oh, one thing that was super helpful, when she was doing the anesthesia shots, the MA sat over here and tapped my eye. And I don't know why, but that was super helpful. Just the opposite eye, he was tapping it like that, just over and over and over again. And I know that was helpful. Anyways, so then they cleaned me all up, and my eyelid just felt really swollen and just like painful, uncomfortable, like I had a whole bunch of stuff in my eye. My eyelids just felt heavy, just really swollen. So they had me sit up, and they were dabbing at, you know, any gunk that was coming out with gauze, and it was just red, it was blood and whatever else. And then she put on the antibiotic cream just right along my lashes, and then it would melt into my eye. I didn't even look at it right after because I didn't really want to see it. But yeah, so then afterwards when I was leaving, my eye just felt really swollen. It just felt like I had stuff in my eye, you know, like when you get a hair or something in your eye, it just felt like I had a ton of that in my eye. And my eye was just like oozy, and it was really uncomfortable, and that went on for over an hour. When I got home, I laid down and I took a little nap, and when I woke up, it definitely felt better, and it's just continued to feel better. It's less bloodshot, less swollen. It's not as uncomfortable to keep my eye open. Doesn't feel like I have as much stuff in there. You can tell that my eyes definitely look more similar than they did before. I still have this lump up here a little bit, but that should definitely go away. She said everything came out. That lump is from the Kenalog, the steroid injection. Like I said, my doctor was Alison Crum at the University of Utah Hospital, the Moran Eye Center. And she did a really good job. She and the MA Trey made me feel really comfortable in the procedure. They played music and we just talked. Like, they just helped me feel really, really comfortable. And overall, it was extremely uncomfortable. My eye is still semi-uncomfortable, just very oozy, and swollen, and obviously bruised. I'm not very worried cosmetically about this whole thing, but, well, that was why I got it removed, for cosmetic reasons, but right now, I'm fine with the way it looks. And I will do another update maybe in a few days and just keep doing updates to show you how it's progressing and how it's healing. At this point, I mean, well, I don't know. I will keep that to myself and maybe share later. If you want to see the first video where I show what my eye used to look like, I will link it so you can see that, to see how big they were. And just hopefully the swelling goes down soon, and I just hope it's all fixed. So yeah.